Even if you're getting great success from print advertising, referrals, SEO, Google ads, word of mouth, networking, referrals, there's one like key driver that we'd recommend.
Now this is a story all about how
Me and my friend Ash grew a social media advertising agency to where it is now. We get contacted often by businesses that rely upon generating qualified leads to survive. We're talking home improvement, service-based businesses such as builders, removals, loft extensions, plumbers, designers, things like that are relying on old school marketing methods to generate their leads. In this week's episode, we talk about practical advice that they can use to create a predictable and consistent lead generating machine.
A lot of them do old school marketing.
A lot?
Yeah, a lot of them rely on word of mouth. A lot of them spend on print advertising. Some of them are doing good work on Google ads and SEO, but they're still perhaps later than other industries.
Like I said, we've noticed a lot still doing traditional methods as in marketing, which is old school, which, to be honest, it's okay and it'll get your business so far, but for you, to me, especially in that industry, the building industry, you want as much more quotes as possible, and where to target that really, in my opinion, is social media advertising.
Yeah, because a lot of them are quite good at closing leads and building trust and building that network of customers once they've got them, but you can't rely on word of mouth. And there's more competition than ever. It used to be that there was the bloke that did extensions in your village and everyone referred to each other. That still happens to a degree.
In terms of expanding your business outside of those areas, there's more opportunities to do it via social media. So, for example, since you're Bob from Waterloo Town, and you're like, yeah. And then Bob was like, I need to expand my business.
Bob, if someone went out needs to create a business,
Yeah.
I think at the minute Bob's first thought would be like leaflets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you went about what was he building? Bob
No, Bob the Builder.
Oh, that's why I've done it. That's why I've done it.
Yeah, Bob the
I think
Builder.
I accidentally went into that. But it does. Bob would be doing leaflets on his day or actually working. That's the difference.
Yeah, and
Because-
does Bob know how many people have seen his leaflets?
Because Bob could press a button and that could be doing it all for him. But instead he's trying to figure out what's going to look nice in the leaflet, and probably himself having to go around every house and deliver the leaflet as well. Whether he could just literally create one online, create an ad, press a button and target different other places outside of Wandsworth, whilst Bob can still do someone's kitchen, for example.
Those small businesses, they get how to deal with customer face to face, and to be fair, a lot of these people who start online businesses could learn a thing or two off these home improvement businesses about how to deal with customers and how to generate that referrals network. But if you're building extensions, kitchens, paint decorators, carpentry, if you're proactively getting the message out there online to people who might have 2 kids, they're aged 30 to 50, they're interested in IKEA, they're interested in different home improvements, they're browsing Etsy and Pinterest for inspiration, what to do in their home. If you're giving them a way to inquire at the click of a button or find out more about why you're the most trusted person locally, and giving them a way to leave their details or inquire more very easily, a lot more straightforward than most old-fashioned websites are, you'll be the one that's winning and laughing. And I think not enough of these businesses at any point in their marketing focus more on the customer and the happy stories that they've made, or the dream homes they've built, because there's only so much someone wants to hear around I've been in business for 55 years and I'm an expert in X, Y, and Z.
I also just think it's so easy for this type of industry as well to just go, put my ad in a magazine. I just think it's just because it's just been there for so long,
And everyone else
and
is
it's just
doing
they're doing it, and it's just let's just do it because it's easy. But if you took just, 3 hours to just actually focus on actually doing just one Facebook ad and see how that works, and then compare it to your magazine that you've been doing for years, and you'll be like, okay, maybe I need to change.
And then even if you're getting great success from print advertising, referrals, SEO, Google ads, word of mouth, networking, referrals, there's one key driver that we recommend for any business in your industry, because you're getting each transaction is worth quite a lot of money and profit, and each job and each project.
The quotes.
Yeah, it could be gold mine and the quotes are great. Any home improvements business should be setting up simple retargeting campaigns. If anyone's visited your website in the last 50 days and they visited the contact us page or your services page, you need to be getting back to them on Facebook or Instagram with a simple swipe up to fill out our inquiry form, because these are warm leads that you've just not converted yet. And if you're getting over 5% of people visit your website and clicking the inquiry form, great for you, but we know a lot of businesses out there aren't. And there's an easy way to maximise your chances from that by retargeting the people that visited your site on the platforms they spend the most time on.
Building that bridge of marketing as well. Because I think personally, with this business, this industry, the building industry, it's like you've got, maybe you've got the website there, but just imagine like you've got a really fast flowing river.
Yeah.
And you've got people trying to get there, but right now your traditional marketing methods are like this. And someone might see it in a magazine and then it just fall off.
It's too much effort.
Yeah. But if you change it up and create a Facebook ad and obviously have a good pixels and website as well, you can go to bridge, and then you've got people coming over the fast flowing, getting there to come back with your roll back.
It's good, I like that.
Yeah.
So you build kitchens, loft extensions, new living rooms, we build bridges. Yeah, no, that's what we do. We build bridges from where your customers are at the minute to where you want them to be, which is paying you money.
That was a good explanation.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't know where you're going at first. And quite often, we always like to think that our initial plans for a campaign and a client are going to work like that, but it's a constant process of tweaking and improving. And I think that's something where
I'll just we think that about another client always thinks that about most clients.
Oh yeah, most clients think we just set and forget it, we'll come back to it in 30 days, or that's what most businesses, when you speak to an agency, they're going to assume that Facebook ads is something you set and forget on the first day of the month and they'll get a report on the last day of the month. We wish it was that simple, but it's all around what bits to fix, and you've been, what are the things you've done this morning?
Yeah, so one of our clients, big CISO in property, and we first were running a competition, but at the moment the ads seem averagely working at the moment.
Yeah, the click-through rates are okay. They're not, but having run other things before like this, we know the click-through rates should be a lot higher.
Yeah. So in terms of that, then it's really just again to look back on where the cut point might be. For example, first we start off looking at the ads and the wording. Is the wording right? Is there, is it that? Does it spark interest? Looking at the picture as well, because sometimes it can be just turning the picture upside down, which I've done, and we'll see how that works as well.
Just to try and poke the bear and increase those click-through rates by a little bit.
Yeah, and then again, it's looking at audiences again. Is it too specific? Do we need to go broader? So there's all those little things, little adjustments. But then it could be, okay, is it the ads are fine, but then is it going into the landing page? And is that,
is it easy enough for them to do what we want them to do?
Yeah.
Is it clear enough?
Yeah. Does someone look at it and think, oh, that's just a bit too much for me? Which can be, but then it's all those little things I think. You have to look at, because devil's in the detail.
Exactly. We've got a variety of tools both on the landing pages we build for clients, so we can track people's behaviour on the pages, where they're clicking, how long. Even on Google Analytics, anyone can do it in terms of if you notice any spike, increase or decrease in the amount of time people are spending on the page. Traditionally, the longer time they're spending on the page, the more invested they are and more interested. If people are bouncing out straight away, less than 2-3 seconds, they're not interested, and what you've got above the fold on the top half of them. Sorry, a bit of fluff just fell down off my watch, it's really weird. If what you've got above the fold at the top of your page isn't engaging and interesting enough and doesn't speak to their problem, they're gonna fuck off. But then there are people who do take a lot more interest and nuance before they make a decision, even if it's a no-brainer, the offer. I think that's what I talked about last week in terms of all these different variables that different people act on, and we're constantly looking at ways to improve and refine it. And another client who works in processing foods industry is we're the first month got a lot of leads coming in regularly through sort of a simple funnel we produced where we're targeting the right audience because they've never done social media advertising before, and we had pixel data to go off, which is great, and we're taking them through a case study blog type page to a sales page related to their actual products and the pain points, and then an inquiry. And what we've seen over the last month or so is those results have started to diminish, and perhaps the quality of leads that we're going after, we need to change sort of the messaging and the tone to convert more of these higher, bigger businesses that they want to deal with. So we're now creating a bunch of different routes into that funnel. So instead of it just being one case study blog page, we're creating multiple ones which are more aligned to these different target audiences and perfect customers they describe for us. That's what happens like over the first 3 months is we'll get more in tune with what's working, what's not, on the marketing side.
Yeah.
But more often than not, the client opens up a bit more in terms of who is their perfect customer, who's right for them, and these different types. We go, great, let's create an individual journey for them. Like if we know that one of their great sweet spots is coffee brands who've got over 100 employees, or they're scaling up to sell into more than one territory, that's right for them. So we're bidding on Google AdWords for those relevant key terms in terms of improving X process or coffee brands and being much more specific. And it's sort of that, like Cash said, devil in the detail, is you're going deeper and deeper every month and you're building new and new ways to target the right people. And it's not, going back to it's not a set and forget thing. You need to keep working to keep getting results.
Yeah, it's like going back to, you'll probably see in another vlog, or maybe this one, is the iceberg. Last week. Because I think everyone thinks it's like the tip of the iceberg, but it's always what's underneath as well. That's like very important. And that's what I think that's what separates us from a lot of agencies as well. Like we want to focus, we actually want to grow the business.
Yeah, build a long-term plan.
Because I don't see the point in just like a burning chat kind of thing, because you'll get found out and then can't come your way, unfortunately.
Yeah, but what you can do with social media advertising and search advertising is easily acquire a lot of shit traffic in 30 days. But that's a little high that doesn't really last, and you realise, hang on, none of these people are repeating purchases or they weren't good enough quality leads, and it's about building a sustainable flow of leads and setting that business up to change forever. Whilst it's a lot of people, even if they've worked building their business for 30 years, they'll see digital marketing or social media as like a get rich quick thing. And they'll go, there's billions of people on Facebook, I'll just do that and away I go. It's not, it's all around setting yourself up to, it's a new way of generating leads and customers and sales, rather if it's done right. If you've got the perfect product that's in the right place at the right time, you've stumbled upon an amazing app that just sells everything to the right audience, and your website, even though it's shit, is easy to use, and maybe you'll get rich quick, maybe, but there's too much other shit in the way that can affect it. And that's why it's about building blocks. But then we get a lot of smaller entrepreneurs and people starting up ask us how to do things, and it can seem overwhelming. Just focus on one thing at a time. Focus on the audience you're speaking to. Focus on the page you're guiding to. Focus on the offer you're creating. Focus on the inquiry, build one of those blocks, and then you can build another.
Because I think in terms of small business entrepreneurs, they always seem to focus on the wrong things as well.
Yeah,
it's like at the end of the day, like the main thing for your business is how to grow and get people and customers on board, and that's the thing you need to look at. Don't worry about what your website's going to be looking like, because first of all you need to get people to that website. So it's all of those things, and I think a lot of people just seem to
it's a never-ending.
Yeah,
it's a process.
Yeah.
If you don't like the process of constantly improving,
because once you get customers on board and money on board, then you can focus on those little things. But first
you can pay people who know how to do it as well. But that's the thing, is focus on what's the biggest revenue generating activity. And more often than not, the fastest and most effective way to reach people nowadays is through Facebook and Instagram advertising. I love for a lot of our clients that we're still creating new ideas, creating new tests in 6, 12, 24 months. We always know there's areas to improve. Say if on a sales page we're putting a video of the business owner doing a live pictures, we'll know, right, there's areas to improve on that based on the website. We'll know, should we experiment with one offer in call to action versus another? There's always things to improve. And it's the mixture of these marginal gains where you tweak to get a 1% improvement that adds up over time. And then you mix that in with huge weird ideas that might jump your business up by 10, 20%. Oh, do you know what I saw the other day? Or it's just started to roll out in the US, is Instagram, there's going to be a swipe up to call.
Was it straight to the
So yeah, you swipe up off Instagram and it calls that business directly.
Can you track that in terms of all you use?
Yeah, you'll be able to track it.
Yeah, because it'd be in the analytics, it'd be like the placements wasn't being swiped up to the number.
Yeah, that's the call to action. Yeah. But yes, I think it's only going to start rolling out in the US as a test. But if you're using that with, a lot of people when they do Google Ads landing pages will use tools like call route or a dynamic number. So you know that
One thing would be automatic calls, or would it be like a swipe up, then press call? Can you imagine?
I don't know. Well, no, that's the thing. There's a lot of Google Ads campaigns. They're done off dynamic numbers, so you know exactly which So like it's a dummy number,
Yeah.
which guides to you, and then you can test which ones work. But then a lot of people mistrack their Google ads, which are designed to generate calls, because on mobile, on a website, you get a tap to call, and then you'll flick up, I'm thinking of the iPhone here, you'll tap a website to call that number, and then there'll be a second press to call again, and that's where a lot of measurements are between when people report their Google ads of you have this many calls, and then the business owners going, no, I haven't. Well, yeah, they might not have been there at the time of the call, and they might not have actually registered that those 3 missed calls last night might have been leads. But more often than not, there's a discrepancy between the people that have tapped to call from an ad on the main page to people that have actually called, if that makes sense. But this should be interesting. This shows that Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp, with all their changes, are trying to support those really small businesses, the ones that don't have websites, the ones that do deal straight from an iPhone. And running ads to something like that exclusively in the hours you operate could be great for those quick wins, however, or sales teams in B2B. But to get those people ready to take action now, but you need to make sure there's a process in place for when you pick up that phone, because otherwise you might be chatting absolute gibberish. A lot more businesses are set up around very niche things now, because you can reach these niche audiences at scale on social media, and there's communities and audiences there. Before, if you tried to start in the 90s and create a full-time business of selling sculptures of 90s cartoon characters, you wouldn't be able to.
Fishing in the dark.
Fishing in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant that was like a niche.
No, it's like there's probably fishing in the dark. Like,
I thought you meant like fishing in the dark.
Just
That's
like
not
that's that period, just like
Yeah. Exactly, but now you can target these audiences of interest. And a lot of people are sort of reverse engineering that and finding these communities, then building businesses off the back of it, as opposed to like, I love this hobby, I'm going to create a business, and then before you know it, it's built up to something bigger than you ever thought. Some people are going in and going, okay, people are seeing that going on trekking and hill walking is having a big increase after sort of people pushing back against the way we live technology and always working, is actually going outdoors and hiking is increasing in popularity, particularly amongst US, UK, younger audiences. So people are going, right, they're noticing that trend. They're going on Amazon and finding out the products that people are buying in that niche and looking at the reviews, particularly the negative reviews or the 2 or 3 star ones, which, excuse me, they're looking at the negative reviews or the 2 to 3 star ones where there's something missing or they're not quite fulfilling the need. An entrepreneur is looking at that and going, right, they're seeing that the walking boots that are being sold to them, the laces aren't sturdy and tough enough, or are a bit fucking fiddly when you've got freezing hands and cold weather. So they're making like industrial gorilla shoelaces, which appeal to that manly outdoors man who's going on his hiking. And you know what they can do is they can then go, right, I'm going to target people who like hiking expedition, North Face, Jack, not Jack Wheels. Jack, they're targeting North Face, Jack, Wolfskin, like all the people that are buying these brands already and doing those hobbies, and they're purely serving them online ads to bring into an e-commerce store, built on Shopify, and going from there. Like these little niche audiences and niche interests, whole entrepreneurs are spotting the opportunities of building businesses. Then you've got the other side of that of people who are building those businesses out of love for the hobby, and then not adopting these principles.
Yeah, and the ones that are screaming out to them, but they're just ignoring them.
Yeah, like there's so many businesses out there who are creating specific combat gear for different martial arts. Because they're doing it because they love it, but they're not reaching, there's a huge martial arts audience around the world.
It's like you've got to try and figure out if you've got something like that. If you can't start working, have you tried the actual things that are screaming out at you? Or you're not, some people think, well, haven't even though they buy products themselves and get advertised, but they don't realise in their head that they can do exactly the same.
Like you were talking the other week about fishing brands, where on that first page of Google, there's all much of a muchness around the 5 or 6 big retailers of fishing bait accessories.
Yeah, there's always like the secrets to different types of like how to catch fish. And, again, like, I think fishing brands are missing out on that because they could have like different setups, like different rigs, things that can catch carp with, for example. But they're not advertising that properly in terms of like you can do blog pages with fishing. This is so call this and attract people to that page to the product.
Video content and fishing, like podcasts about fishing. I'm sure there are ones out there, but if they're not linking up in terms of we're retargeting the people who bought from us 60 days ago.
I think that's why Quarter is so far ahead as well in everything. Just because they do develop melodies, but they're just so far ahead than the others. They just know how to. But they're the ones that are doing it really.
Because they're doing content. Be interested to know if they're fishermen who hide marketers have got now.
Yeah, they've got-
they're online business people who also push it.
But if there's already a community there, create ads targeting that community, bring them into your website, retarget people that don't buy straight away, and you're there.
But in a bad way, like coronavirus is like, it's terrible what's happening. But if they get to the point where people have to stay at home, what are they going to be doing?
It's an
Their business is
opportunity.
gonna be focusing.
Oh yeah, but if Amazon will probably never stop delivering, however bad the coronavirus is,
Yeah,
they'll find a way.
do that,
Yeah, they'll find a way because that's probably one of the businesses that will still be going, even if everyone's in isolation. Is there'll be even more effort to be able to deliver products, food. If people are spending all day browsing online, be there. And that's why you saw some people probably made
I
$1,000 from
yeah,
masks.
yeah, I feel if businesses don't take a blind eye, they might be blind by that, but that's something that if you know, like, if, for example, like, this is like, oh, how does the economy is going to slow down, but then the businesses will need to look at how they can keep that maintained. My opinion is it isn't like that. But which I hope it does something like that, because it's really rich shit for everyone. But in terms of just like, yeah, okay, how can you maintain this? People who are afraid to go out of the house anyway, because people are like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like, how can we target them? That would probably be the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
And there'll be other ways in terms of reaching those people online when they're browsing to set themselves up for, oh, I know, when we're allowed out, we're going to go to there, we must go visit this, we must go visit that. So there'll be, I can imagine, if anything further develops on this, the average amount of screen time is going to fucking rise up to well past like 6 or 7 hours a day of people scrolling.
Yeah.
Which means that more ads are getting served every second of the day to more people, which is more opportunity for businesses like yours to generate those clicks and swipe up sales. Even if they're not going to act on it now, you're still building those audiences to retarget. It could be that there's a huge bidding war because there's so much more inventory. What I think might happen is the ads get a lot cheaper because people are just browsing for much more hours than then. And it tends to happen over winter anyway, or Christmas being sort of being not one out because everyone's looking out for Christmas.
People just go into that traditional method. It just naturally is like it integrated into their head because it's been around for so long. But then again, if you were like
In 50 years' time, we'll be saying, oh yeah,
but
Instagram.
it's like in 1910, and then people started to change the advertising methods. People would actually do that, but for me, it doesn't seem to. People aren't changing as fast enough.
A great billboard or leaflet or magazine that might attract attention.
It was brilliant in 1995.
But it still might attract attention, but a lot of them aren't great, a lot of them are absolute shit. A lot of them are designed poorly, and a lot of them don't really show you any more about the business. And more often than not, when people are having the option to see it, they're looking at the phone.
But it's also like that just goes into their mixed marketing because they probably have a massive pump of money into the online and think, oh, you can advertise different ways. But
The ones that are doing it well know that print, TV, mass media marketing is your top of funnel awareness. You've already sorted out the actual getting the direct sales and generating revenue. This is just to make sure people don't ever fucking forget about you ever.
yeah.
But you're not going to be able to build a sustainable business off the back of a few leaflets and magazine ads. You need to get this. You want to be able to produce leads, inquiries, and sales whilst you're asleep, and whilst people are in bed.
That's the thing, like you are, when it goes, go back to what we were saying, like the builders and whatnot, it's like, once you're asleep, when Bob's asleep, he's still advertising. When he's on his back, he's still advertising. He's not having to set up those little naturally he's having to go out and deliver leaflets, he's advertising.
If he's on holiday in the Caribbean and all his apprentices to take
That's
their
the
next job,
difference, yeah.
his ads are still running and getting him leads that he knows he can pick up the phone when he's left Barbara at the beach bar, or when he comes back.
Or people, yeah, and everyone, especially today, people exhaust themselves, like, I need to work hard, 100%, I need to, like, if I work hard, but actually, if you can't just take a little step back, maybe go on holiday, keep your advertising running on Facebook, you're still working, but you're still enjoying it as well.
And then you automate what the follow-up process is.
Yeah,
Right.
But people still don't see that though.
No, focus on what is most likely to give you the most amount of business, leads and customers.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of opportunity out there for businesses that are doing okay to look at how they can do very well. And link in the description, go on the website, like, subscribe to see more. But if you want help turning more clicks into customers, give us a shout.
Yeah.
Peace out. 8 out. Down. Over now. Sayonara. Ciao. Bella.